DBT. What is it? Where did it come from? Why do nurses have to do it? Who is it for again? And does it actually do anything? Let's help you find the answers to the many questions around DBT. Let's start by explaining those letters. Acronyms are always a bit confusing. D stands for dialectical. This fancy word is based on the idea of a dialectic, two things that can seem like opposites, which can in fact both be true at the same time, where opposing truths are verified to the point that neither has to give up its position completely. For example, in DBT, we believe that everyone is doing the best they can, and that we need to try harder. The main dialectic in DBT is always trying to balance acceptance with change, that you have to try different things to get the life you want. You have to be motivated and work harder. B stands for behaviour, which is anything that can be reinforced or rewarded. DBT recognises this and uses the power of behaviour change to move clients closer to their goals, their life worth living. As a DBT nurse, you'll work with clients to establish target behaviours, things that clients are working to increase or often, in the beginning, decrease. Common initial targets include thinking of suicide, self-injury, using drugs or alcohol, engaging in risky sexual behaviour, or intense feelings of anger, depression, and hopelessness. A common thread between these experiences is a difficulty regulating emotions. In these cases, DBT is a possible therapy solution. And this leads us to T, for therapy. This may be different from other therapy traditions, but the main goal in DBT is making sure the client stays alive, which helps us to meet our second goal, making sure clients stay in therapy until they can meet their goal, building a life worth living. Although sometimes these goals may seem unattainable, it's a DBT nurse's job to acknowledge how hard it is to change and to simultaneously motivate people to keep moving forward. In DBT, we believe that therapy is a relationship between two equals, meaning the work is carried out by both the nurse and the client. It's about both of you working together towards your goals. But what does this actually look like? Well, comprehensive DBT, the kind that has the most evidence research, has 4 modes of treatment. To summarise, the first mode is structured individual therapy, which focuses on behaviours and dialectics, that balance of acceptance and change. The second mode is skills group. This is a weekly 2-hour meeting where clients learn a different behavioural skill each week to help manage emotions, distress and relationships. This allows more time to talk about the stuff that is more central to the individual client in their individual therapy. The third mode is telephone coaching. This means your client is able to call you 24 hours a day to get help using coping skills and to avoid crises at a time where it's most likely to happen, out of the clinic and within their life. The fourth mode is a consultation team meeting. This last one may be less obvious, but it's paramount in achieving the best possible treatment. Changing life-threatening behaviours is really stressful. Debriefing and strategizing with your team will enhance your capabilities and motivation. Now you must be thinking, what a game-changing therapy this is. Who came up with it? And to that we say, good question. It must have taken someone with a great understanding to come up with such a comprehensive, patient-oriented therapy. And it did. DBT's origins lie in the heart and mind of Marsha Linehan. Having first been treated for extreme suicidal ideation at 17 under the diagnosis of schizophrenia, Linehan underwent 2 years of hospitalisation, physical restraints, medication and electroconvulsive therapy. To no avail, she knew there had to be a different way, a cognitive-based way. Linehan had an epiphany one night in 1967, which led her to study psychology, where she found the answer to her prayers. That basic idea she termed radical acceptance. Yes, real change was possible. People could learn new behaviours. Although DBT is usually thought to have been established for a diagnosis of borderline personality disorder, Linehan began with treating suicidal clients. However, her miracle idea of radical acceptance was not initially successful. Clients would present with one problem, and Linehan would choose an acceptance, skills-based treatment for that problem. But when clients returned for the next session, they would have not completed the homework because of other problems that arose. Linehan realised that standard treatments weren't working because the problems of clients changed from session to session and moment to moment. So Linehan's therapy sessions were videotaped and sought through as being helpful or not helpful. Over time, the method of balancing acceptance of clients at a given moment while pushing them to change behaviours that were dysregulated was identified as an important dialectical practice. It is here that Linehan closed in on two seemingly opposite principles that form the basis of DBT: acceptance of life as it is, not as it's supposed to be, and the need to change despite that reality and because of it. So now you know what DBT is and where it came from. You've got the acronym down, you know who designed it and how it can help. We can't wait to share more about DBT with you and see what you think.